Hello, Boston Drives for the RideShare Guy. My name is Matt, and I'm going to remind you today why it's so important to make sure your services are up to the highest bidder. I know a lot of us get comfortable with one particular app, and we kind of stick with that. And, if you're not multi-apping, you're probably leaving money on the table. Let's look over these numbers here for the weekend. I had a great weekend with Lyft, which is unusual for me because normally I drive for Uber, and that's been my bread and butter for the last couple of years. But this is why I always say you got to test your theories and your biases and make sure you're not leaving money on the table by assuming things are the way they always have been, because that's rarely the case with gig work, as you well know. This particular weekend, drove about 16 hours, grossed about $51 per hour before tips, another $5, I think it was $4.96 or something like that per hour in tips. The grand total was almost $400, just under $400 above the Massachusetts minimum, which is $32.50 an hour for active time. I did not drive one ride for Uber over the weekend. Did a couple earlier in the week. Had a couple surges, one on Monday, one on Tuesday. Didn't see any surge over the weekend on Uber except for at the airport, and try to avoid that on the weekends as much as I can. My friend Levi told me that I wasn't spending enough time online to be able to judge whether or not they were sending me good rides or not. So I spent more time. I had the app on more frequently. Not enough good rides coming in to warrant me switching over, especially when I was working on a 60 ride challenge for Lyft. By the way, I want to shout out Lyft for adding these driver features. This information is unbelievable. You guys have been killing it with this. You may notice I took 61 rides out of, I guess 200 or so. My AR for the weekend was somewhere in the 1/3 range. And I declined a lot of rides, as you can see. We'll talk about that in another video, as I mentioned. But a good weekend with Lyft. And again, proof that you can make way more than even the high amounts that a government settlement will offer you if you choose the right app and the right strategy for this particular weekend. Believe me, if Uber came through, oh, by the way, you want to see how I did on my Uber Quest? You already know I didn't do any rides, but yeah, they were offering $15 if I did 30 rides. So I think I picked the right app. Look, there's a lot of apps competing for our attention and our time and our efforts. You got to pick the best one, the one that's offering the most money. Your services should be up for bid to the highest bidder. And that's the way you got to think about this, all right? If you want to check out some of the other opportunities that are available to you, just look in the description. You'll find all kinds of links there. And make sure to sign up to our newsletter, too. I'm Matt, Boston Drives for the RideShare Guy. As always, thanks for watching.